Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So we are from Group 3. We'll be presenting our mini research titled Speech Function Used by TASO Students in Group Discussion. So this is the content of our mini research. There is introduction, purpose of the study, research method, research question, research methodology, findings, discussion, and lastly is conclusion. These are the group members of the mini research. So I'm Fatina Biha binti Mak Faisal. We'll be presenting to you guys the introduction of speech function by TASO students in group discussion. So basically, communication is essential in language learning and plays a key role in students' linguistic and also social development. As for TESOL students, speech function help understanding how language perform communicative acts such as disagreeing, summarizing, suggesting, asking, and also clarifying. And in group discussion also provide us students with a real life opportunity to practice these skills, especially in debates and also in real life classroom situation that is between students and also teachers. So as a future educators yourself, mastering speech function enables them to model effective classroom communication. Now I will pass it to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Damit Zati binti Syariah and I will be explain about the purpose of the study. Okay, so the purpose of this study is to explore how the student use speech function during group discussion. Alright, so this research focus to identify the most common speech function and understand their roles in maintaining communication, supporting interaction, and helping students express their idea clearly. It also examines how the use of this speech function affects student participation, confidence, and overall communication effectiveness in group discussion. Another purpose is to identify the challenge that the student face when using appropriate speech function in the discussion. Okay, so through this, the study provides useful suggestions to help the self student become more confident and effective communicator. In short, the study isn't just focused on what students say, but also how they use language to build understanding and teamwork during discussion. So that's all for me. I will be passed to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So my name is Ili Rayhana binti Kama and I'm from PE 4.16. So thank you to the previous presenter. So for my part, I'll be telling you about our research method. So for our research method, we use qualitative method over quantitative. This is because we want to get responses and seek deeply into what we are seeking for this mini project. So for the qualitative method, which is interview session, where the audio was recorded and transcribed in order to get responses from our participants, and there will be analysis get it from that. And that is the end for my part, and thank you.
For this slide, I will be explaining the research question of our study. There are three main questions. The first question is, what are the most common speech functions that the students use in group discussion? Alright, so this question helps to identify the type of speech function that students use most when communicating in discussion. Alright, so the second question is, what is the perception of the student with regard to the application of speech function in the control of group communication? This question focuses on how students view and understand the use of speech function in managing or controlling communication within their group. The last question, which is the third question, this question aims to discover possible ways to help students improve their communication skill and confidence when engaging in the discussion or debates. Overall, this question guide the study in exploring how speech function is influence communication, participation, and confidence among the TESOL students. So that's all for me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
Okay, so thank you for the previous presenter. But firstly of all, hi, my name is Wadiha, and I'm going to be explaining about the research methodology of this mini project. So as you can see, for the research design, we use a qualitative research approach as our main method. The reason why we use this method is because it's basically the primary method of data collection and even as a resource of feedbacks. The main purpose of why we chose this is to examine the students' understanding and their relevance upon their perspective, experiences, the language use of the frequency of speech functions and use during discussions. For the target group, we targeted semester 4 TESOL students, specifically from section BE 4.16 and other sections in Kabiti Epani. So the reasons for this selection is because they are chosen due to their well-developed communication in English and the familiarity aspect of speech functions in the academic group discussion. Now that we've covered the research design of its research methodology, we are now going through the instrumentation of this mini project. So as you can see, for the tool, we use a well-structured questions for the interview and the students' feedback. It means that we use a well-structured questions based on the students' familiarity of the subject alone for that's catered for TESOL students. And for the questionnaire, it basically consists with the role of speech functions like its agreement, clarification, disagreement, summarization, and open-ended answers. So we are finally at the last one of our research methodology, which is the data analysis. As you can see, the method we use is the descriptive statistic through a pie chart based on overall participant for the interview. If you look closely, there is a pie chart on the right side, which contains of the percentage of participants that joined for the interview. 90% of them are from BE 4.16, which is our main objective as we wanted like as we hope in our objective, and the other sections are all around 10%. The focus area for this mini project is basically how frequently students join or take part in group discussion, the reasons of concept disagreement, and the different roles in group discussion. So that is all from my part. I'll be passing this to the next presenter. So
Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Amina Fatina binti Amir Fadli from section BE 4.16 College Politek Marabani. Today I'll be presenting the findings of our mini research titled Speech Functions Used by the Students in a Group Discussion. The study explores how TESOL students use different speech functions to communicate effectively, maintain interaction, and express their idea politely during group discussion. This research was conducted with 10 TESOL students from section BE 4.16. The main goal was to identify the speech function they use in group discussions, understand their perceptions toward communication, and gather suggestions to improve communicative competence. We analyzed the interview data based on three research questions, which is the first one, what are the speech functions used by TESOL students in a group discussion? Second, how do students perceive this function in controlling group communication? And third, what are their suggestions for improving communicative competence? Next, for, for the first research question, the study found that the most speech function used by TESOL students are suggesting, expressing opinions, disagreeing politely, and summarizing ideas. Most students emphasize the use of politeness. Most students emphasize the use of politeness when giving suggestion is to maintain cooperation and harmony during discussion. For example,
One participant, Humara Edina, said that I make suggestion in a polite and respectful way. Meanwhile, similarly, participant Aisha mentioned that she started with, what if we do this? Or I think it might work better if we try these ideas. This example shows that TESOL students, in terms of expressing opinions, participant Noha mentioned that she enjoys sharing her opinions and listening to others, while participant Shadia said that she usually wait for others to speak before giving her ideas. This shows that students value turn-taking and mutual respect while in the discussion process. When it comes to disagreements, most participants say that prefer to disagree politely, such as, for example, participant Atira shared that she would gently express her disagreement, while participant Nurul Masara said she would stay calm and explain her point of view politely. However, participant question 2. For the research question, for the second research question, students generally believe that politeness and respect are essential for effective discussion. Participant Humara stated that politeness helps discussion go better because it shows respect. Similarly to participant Taskim, she also agreed and said with the saying, if you show politeness when speaking, then the other person can understand better. For participant Anissa, she added that tone and word choice can influence the discussion atmosphere. She said if they talk harshly, it sounded like they want to pick a fight. However, participant Putri Natasha pointed out that discussions can still be challenging when group members talk too much, go off topic, or fail to listen. This shows that some stu- this shows that while politeness support communication, students will still face issues with participants, balance, and time management. Also, some students struggle with dominant speakers and language confidence. State research question. Students share several suggestions to improve communication and participation. Participant Nuha said discussion helped her improve her communication skills and deepen understanding. Meanwhile, participant Nurul Maisara advised students to speak clearly and use polite language and show respect for different opinions. Participant Aisha mentioned she uses English very frequently, even jokingly said, I always use English when I'm mad. 9 out of 10 times in English usage. Meanwhile, participant Shasha's Putri Natasha suggested that clearer rules and better time management can make group discussions smoother. Overall, the participant believed that frequent practice, polite interaction, and confidence in using English are key to improving communicative competence. Next is the you will have a table. Is the you will have a table. This table shows the frequency of each theme and speech function mentioned in this interview. As you can see, politeness and communication and suggesting were the most frequent, followed by expressing opinions and disagreeing politely. Functions like clarifying and summarizing appeared less often, suggesting that students might need more exposure to these aspects of discussion. These overall patterns shows that are naturally students naturally value cooperation, respect, and inclusivity in a group discussion. So that's all for my part.
So thank you, Amila, for the great explanation on the key findings. So let's move on to the discussion. So based on the finding itself, we as a researcher explore the purpose and also the possible effects of the interview result from the semester for TESOL at KPTM Bangi that explains what kind of speech function used in students' group discussions. It also reveals the students' perception in applying speech function in controlling the group discussion. And lastly is how the students can improvise their communicative competence among themselves. So let's look at the first one, which is politeness. So politeness appears as a major theme of the research, since it's reached the highest number of the participants, which is 9 out of 10. So from the research itself, we found out that most of the participants apply politeness in speech functions by controlling their tone, showing a good face expression, and also give opportunities to other members to express themselves. This aligns with what Marina Ryabova words, which is ethic norms in speech behavior of the English, is a characteristic feature of the communicative culture that determines the choice of formula and models of their everyday communication, revealing the class and also social status and operating with the politeness strategy of social pragmatic conditions. Thus, politeness plays an important role in group discussion in gaining better mutual understanding and also cooperation. So let's move on to the second one, which is the challenges in applying speech function. So the participants also giving their own opinion about the challenges, which is including the dominance of speakers, overlapping ideas, and also the lack of confidence in speaking English. From this points or also the main idea, it interfered the group harmony and also limited participation of the group member itself. By what Semi is state that a number of important issues to be considered by students, such as keeping ground rules, knowing their roles, keeping group dynamics, become a purposeful learner, planning how to use tutor feedback to enhance, well as striving to become a winning team. So basically, the participants needs to gain an understanding on how to amend to manage the issues through a polite discussion and cooperative communication. Now, let's move on to the last part, which is the improving communication competence. So basically, all the participants give a lot of positive opinion on improving communication competence, including the practicing polite speech to show how respect to the speaker. And apart from that, they also mention about increasing the participation, such as more debate and also structured group discussion. While for improvised English speaking proficiency skill can go through under frequent use to build confidence and accuracy. Therefore, the more actively involved we are, the better we will remember what we have been taught, said Sabater and also Flatter. So, by participating in group discussion, students can develop a grammar accuracy and also soft skill such as doing clarification, persuasion, and also turn taking. So that is all from my part. Thank you.
Hi, we met again. So we are at the end of our presentation, and I'll be telling you about our presentation conclusion. So to conclude, our study found that TESOL students use several important speak functions such as asking, summarizing, disagreeing, suggesting in group discussions. These findings show this function help to maintain communication and collaboration, though students still struggle with disagreement and clarification when they want to voice out their opinion in a group discussion. So the study highlights the need for more interactive activities in TELSO programs to improve students' confidence and communication skills as future educators to teach students in the future. And that'll be the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.